Helps a little bit if I have some audio turned on, doesn't it? Isn't it? Doesn't it? Yeah. Here we go. Let's
Helps
see.
a little bit if
Helps also if I turn that other audio source off. There we go. Let's see. Here we go. Hey, welcome to Sunday night, DeWitt 3D Canada. My name is Tim. Um, things are kind of a little disarray here tonight, but that's because we're doing a few change ups and how we're going to be doing things. But one thing is going to remain the same, and that's going to be soup. Sunday night soup. I have soup tonight. And I hope you have soup too. So let's go over here and say hi. And let's see who's online tonight. Hello, who's on the line? No, no. Let's see who's watching. Guy the Jedi is here. James L is here. Andrew Humphrey. Stephen Machado. Joseph Jolly. You are the first handful of folks to chat on the chat. So yes, we do have soup. My flavor of the night for tonight in my super chat bowl. My flavor of the night tonight happens to me to be tomato grilled cheese, it's called. It is chunky, cheesy, tomatoey. And it is good. Cliff D is here and Jeff Thorson is here. Grab your soup. This isn't a huge bowl of soup tonight, but it is so good. And Matt German, soup. Yes. It's our soup stream. Once we finish the soup, we get into the chat. Hence the name soup or chat, right? But we're going to do both. I'm stepping on a wire. Excuse me there. So we're going to do both. I'm stepping on a wire. And we're going to have fun tonight. We got a few things we want to do. For those of you that weren't here through the week, you're going to notice a few changes in the studio since last week. You had a super time at your country fair today. Awesome. That does count, Guy. Yes. Absolutely it counts. No, it's not tomato soup with a grilled cheese sandwich. It's actually from a local place here. And it's just called grilled cheese, tomato grilled cheese. But it's very delicious, very thick, very stringy, cheesy. Hey, Jack Black. Hello, and PF Dennis. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Everybody wants to see a Pew Pew stream, don't you? Well, tonight's stream is all about what we've added, and I want to try and improve on it a little bit. If you'll see him behind me here, as soon as I pick up my receiver here, what happened? Oh, I caught it on a wire, caught my receiver on a wire. I got to put this in under my shirt. And I got to tuck the wire in so it doesn't snag on anything again. So morning is cereal or serial killer. Oh, you like that, huh? It's basically it's serial killer, and over here it says screams in every box. Woohoo! Might be able to see it better on this camera, but yeah, it says screams in every box. And we all know who this is, right? This is it's actually called Myers Serial Killer. So there we go. So let's continue with our soup. But anyways, I get distracted. Awesome shirt. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate that. Here, lower this a bit so people can actually see it. There we go. That's better. Look at that. That's better. So those of you that weren't here through the weekend last Sunday, we have a few minor changes. As you'll see, we now have Laser Corner. We are bringing Laser into the studio. We had Laser in the garage, but it's not very winter friendly. Out in the garage, out in our winters that we get here. So I didn't bring a napkin for the soup, so. Oh, in time for the soup that time. You're in time for the soup. Yes, you are, non-fam. Hello, hello. William Shatner mask. William Shatner mask. Hey, Jerry. William Shatner mask. Oh, and he's actually got a bowl of cereal. That's kind of the thing. I'm trying to show you the whole shirt here. Hang on a minute. It's pretty funky. There we go. See? Michael Myers enjoying a bowl of soup with screams in every bite. There we go. Okay, enough of that. Michael, you are not the star of the show tonight. And this camera certainly isn't either. I have to, I think I need to upgrade the firmware on this little camera here because it keeps misbehaving. Yeah, there we go. So how is everybody doing? Michael Myers is a Shatner mask turned inside out. Is it really? I did not know that. So we're going to finish this soup here. And again, cheers to everybody for the super chat. I don't know, Andrew started this thing a couple weeks ago, and I'm just going with it till it gets old. Well, let's put it this way. I'm old. This is never going to get old. So, Snapshot FPV, hello, sir, and all. Yes. And it's actually great because it gives me a chance to just say hello and chat and enjoy a nice bowl of soup while everybody realizes, hey, gee, Tim's live. Wonder what he's going to screw up tonight. Let's go on and see. So, and then while I eat my soup with my beautiful soup spoon, by the way, handmade soup spoon, gives people a chance to come in. You're here, but you're on the phone. Oh, fine. Priorities, man. Priorities. I get it. If that phone call is more important than me, you keep with it. Okay? Okay, that was good. That was my favorite soup so far on our super chats here. Now, man, if I wasn't live, I'd be licking this bowl. I mean, that is so good. There we go. Okay. Bye-bye soup bowl. And, oh, do I have any water in this thing? This is from last week, but is there anything floating in it? No, we should be okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's just water. It's just been sitting here a week. It's not bad because I've got water over there. I just forgot to bring it over here. So anyways, okay, off to the races. First thing, couple things I want to do, which I kind of mentioned in the description, is, feels like I got stringy cheese in my beard. Maybe I don't. If he does, he will wonton more. Good one. Hey, Rex Waldy. Wonton soup would be good too, but possible. Yeah, till it gets old or cold. Okay, I see where you're going with that. Oh, now I'm warm. I'm gonna open my window, but can't open the window because I've got a. Yeah, I can open the window and let a bit of a breeze in, although it's a warm day again today. Anyways, guys, so as I was saying, we have a laser in house. If anybody didn't tune in Monday when we put it together, or Thursday or Friday when we built the enclosure, et cetera, we are starting to burn stuff in the basement, and we're not burning the house because we have a fireproof enclosure and we have a lot of safety protocols in place. We, the public, can we be in control of what soup you can eat next week? Matt, that scares the crap out of me. So no, we, the public. Now, that said, if somebody pays me and says, hey, here's $10, this is the soup I want you to eat, but it's got to be within reason. I mean, I don't want to have some weird, I can only imagine the soups that you guys could come up with. So yeah, sounds like a poll. Stephen Machado. I don't know if that's going to happen. Anyways, guys, we digress. So we've been doing a few things with the laser, putting it to tests. I've been trying a few different materials. I've been using a cutting test for anybody out there, hands up or chat, anybody out there have lasers and using laser software, specifically anybody using an Xtool laser and using the Xtool Creator software. I'm having trouble getting the software to connect to the laser. It's saying it doesn't recognize the USB hookup or can't find the USB, but it is working because I'm able to burn out of Lightburn. So it's there, it's working, it's recognizing it. So for instance, I attempted a test on a really thick piece of wood. Well, first of all, I'll show you the successful test I had. This is on your 3mm, or is this 2mm? Let's see, 2 or 3mm basswood. I think it's 2mm, 1.5mm, but it's cool. And I'm using a gentleman named Sam Craft. I'm using his cutting test piece, and so this was a cutting test done on the on this basswood, which turned out actually successful because we got some nice clean cuts, and those burns are super clean. And that cutting test worked out well. And then before that, I tried a thicker one, and I mean the burns are clean. But the wood itself is 1/4 inch, and I obviously didn't have settings high enough. And I think for this type of wood, even on a 20-watt laser, I need probably 2 pass. Although our bottom one here, which is our hottest one, did attempt, where are we here? You can see it did attempt to come through right there. But that said, I didn't have my honeycomb down for this. So things weren't going to work out anyways, but we've got the honeycomb in now, and we use the honeycomb for this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we've been doing that. I've been, I also created a grid board. Your friend has, let's see, no elephant soup or turtle soup. No. No shark fin soup either. No. No soup that contains animals, other than maybe chicken noodle. What did you miss? You missed my soup, MGX20, MG20TX. I'm going to just call you MGX20T. MG20T. You missed my soup, which was a beautiful, delicious, not what it sounds like, but it was a tomato grilled cheese soup. No, it wasn't a grilled cheese sandwich dunked in tomato soup. And you missed that we have a laser in the studio now. You missed my cool t-shirt. Whoa. Okay, and that's about it. And then just some idle chit chat. So, so as I say, we did do a burn grid for the laser, and this is a Xtool 20-watt, a D1 Pro 20-watt laser. So we did a burn. We used a okay, that camera's frozen. Let me deactivate and activate that camera. Are we back up? No, for some reason did I unplug this camera by mistake when I moved it? I probably did. Yeah, I did. I have a tendency of when I move my camera cables around, I have a tendency to unplug them because they're not it's not the tightest plug going. But let's see if this works. Deactivate, activate. Oh, wrong camera. Helps if I deactivate and activate the correct camera, doesn't it? There we go. Now we're working. There we go. So we did a burn. So basically, I don't know how easy this is to see, but it is a grid. Because we do like doing some of those slate coasters. So we've got evenly spaced 4-inch circles and squares, and then we have evenly spaced grid targets all around, which are exactly, and they are accurately measured, 1 inch around. Now this sacrificial board, spoil board, baseboard, or whatever you want to call it, is attached to the laser via feet. So the laser are in feet which are attached to the board, so that no matter how much I move the laser around, we're always going to be in the same position relative to home when we do our lasering. And then when we use a template in Lightburn, it's extremely easy to position things dead accurate. So that's what we're doing there. Yes, sirree. That's what I said. No millimeters. Well, we can do millimeters. It doesn't matter. You can measure in millimeters, you can measure in inches, whatever you like. I like millimeters and inches. When it comes to certain things, when you buy certain pieces of wood, certain products, they are measured in inches. Measure millimeters, inches. I'm slowly learning how to, that doesn't look good when I do that. I'm slowly learning how to start converting that in my head. Hey, Jose Ferreira, how are you doing? Do I have a safety switch on the door to turn off the laser? I don't. No. So what's going to happen with this, if you should follow me here, are you going to cooperate this time, camera? Boom. Yes, you are. So what would happen here is, of course, when it's burning, this is going to be down. Um, there, this will always be attended to. Okay. There will be no, in other words, there will be no children coming down here going, oh, what's in here? It's not going to happen. It won't happen because even if I'm doing a long job, I will sit over on the lazy boy there waiting for it while I monitor it, etc. So, but that's not a bad idea, MG20TX. That's not a bad idea if there was a way to somehow rig a switch. But at the same time, if you accidentally bump it or something and you stop your laser and you wreck a job, that's not funny. That's not very good either. So I'll show you sort of what I've been working on this week with this thing, though. So we do have. Let me switch to this camera here. So we do have a venting outside now. So for those of you that watched earlier, we just had that hose sticking out the window, but now we actually made out of aluminum composite panel. That's a red aluminum panel, and with a hole in it. So we have the hose going from there down over, and then the hose goes in. Hang on 1 second. I know. I just dropped my. Why does this thing keep falling out of my pocket? I got to put it in my pocket. There we go, so it doesn't bump. So we have the vent hose going from over there. Can I brighten this up a bit? There we go. Into the back of the laser. I have added, just as a temporary thing, because that thing was sort of sagging and hanging on its own without any support. So I did add a 2x4 to the back, which is basically holding that thing up stable onto the table. Okay, and then we have here our air assist. Oh, come on, why is this sorry, this camera is being a dink right now. We have our air assist, okay, which is then going into the side of the enclosure right here. And then the air assist, of course, the hose runs into the side of the laser down here. So, and the other little things that I've added is right down here. You can just see below my bench here. Who's back? Andrew Humphrey is back. So this is the power switch that I've mounted for the ventilation. So if I turn that on, I don't know if you hear that come on, but now we have ventilation in here. It's really actually pretty good suction power. I could show you with a piece of paper, but it's 230 CFM motor or a fan vent that's on there, sucking all the smoke out of there, and it's been working really well so far. So when I want it, I can turn it down by raising the switch, it lowers it, or I can just turn it right off. And then my air assist is hooked up to that little switch on the floor. So all I do is I go with my foot and I go boom, and that turns on my air assist. I want my air assist off, it's off. So I don't have any pressure adjustment right now for the air assist. I guess I could have used this little camera and showed you everything right at once. Yeah, so yeah, there we go. We have our vent adjustment. We have our ducting right there, yada, yada, yada. We used some assistance from 3D printing to help print the adapters for the ducting, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, so there we go. What I was saying is I don't have any, oh man, this camera again. We just have to kind of be patient with this. I got to figure out what's going on with this camera, why it doesn't automatically reset the way it should. Anyways, we don't have the ability to control the volume of air going out in the air assist for the laser yet. I don't know if that's even necessary. I don't know if it's going to make that huge of a difference, but it's easy enough to add a something like this down the road. If I choose, I can add a switch, which would allow me to increase and decrease the volume of air. Hey, Zen Bender, we are talking lasers tonight. We've had our soup. 3D Medic Vince is here. Hello, hello. We have had our soup, and we're just talking a little bit about lasers. And we're going to do a few things with this. Now, one thing I do want to do with this, tonight's all over the place, just so you guys know. So if you're not the type that likes to watch, and if you're looking for a specific topic that's just going to stay on course, then bye-bye. But I'm just kidding. But tonight we're just going to sort of go all over the place because there's a couple things I really want to do. with this tonight. One thing I need to do, there's two goals I want to accomplish here. I need to light up inside here. Okay, I need to light this up, which isn't so difficult. I have a plan. And I'd like to get a camera in here. Because I mean, I can close this, I can shoot through the top with the camera, but you get a lot of reflection here. You've got a yellow lens here, and you're not going to get the best picture shooting a camera through that yellow lens. So I want to somehow figure out how, if possible, I can get a camera in here to photograph or camera or video what I am doing. Yes, I did get your email, Andrew, and it's going to be on its way this week. I did get your email. So that's the two things. Now, the lighting is not a problem. I think I figured out the lighting. I happen to have these really cool LED strips. I've had these for a long time, like we're speaking years. I got these a long time ago from a company called Super Bright LEDs out of the US. I have just plain, this is a strip that was homemade. This is bright LEDs and black light. Or if you want to call it ultraviolet, I think ultraviolet or whatever, black light strip. Then we have a LED strip and a black light strip again, and then we just have an LED strip. So these are 12 volt. Okay, so my plan is I don't need a black light strip on this. So the black light strip can probably just peel off of this, which it can. But the plan is to somehow, well, not somehow, is to take the LED strip. This can be cut. It's got a connector at the end. I can cut this to any length I need. So the plan is to adhere this up underneath, just inside where the cover meets, somewhere in here, with some adhesive. Adhere that up top, and we'll run a wire out the side, and that should solve the lighting problem, no problem. Or solve the lighting issue, no problem. We'll just quickly wire up a plug for this, and we can get that going. We can do that. We can do some soldering tonight. But this is a perfect length strip for what I'm wanting to do. So I'm thinking I will use this one, and we'll just solder a couple wires on the end here. But in order for me to use this one, I need to see if this black light portion peels off cleanly, and it looks like it does. So if I just pull this off, oh, and the adhesive on this is still pretty good. These were made for a specific purpose in the past. You're wondering why I have a black light strip, or I guess what this is called is that UV light? Anyways, these were prototype inspection lights for scuba cylinders. And you need, those of you anybody that knows or has ever inspected a scuba cylinder, you know that when you're doing an O2 clean on a cylinder, you need a black light, because the black light is going to show any anomalies in your cylinder. That's why that was on there. So this is a perfect length strip here for what we want to do under here. And we will just put some double-sided adhesive. Hopefully it'll adhere to the top of this, and that'll just stick right up in there. It'll be out of the way. The wire will run down through the same hole as the air assist, and that should be good. Hey, Thomas, how are you, sir? Now, there's two ways we can power this and two ways we can control this, which is why I have this stuff out here. There's the first way we can power this is by using one of these battery packs, which holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 AA batteries. And if you do your math correct, 8 times 1.5, because they're 1.5 volt batteries, equals what? 12 volts. So we could battery power those lights with 12 volts, or we can use let's just unplug this here. We can use a 12 volt output power adapter. And ideally, we would hook this 12 volt power adapter up to a on-off switch, or in this case, a dimmer switch. And so I think my preferred method would be to hook this up to one of these. So all I need to do, because I've done some pre-wiring here, this was already pre-wired from another previous project, is I just need to run a wire off of this strip here into this plug here, which will then plug into this plug here. which will then operate my LED strip. So why don't we build that? And then while I'm doing that, you guys get a chance to see me burn myself with a soldering iron. Yay, that might happen. You're never going to see me blind myself with a laser. So don't, burning myself for fun is one thing. Sticking a laser in my eye for fun is something that won't happen. Thank goodness. It's one thing's foolish, the other thing's just stupid. Hang on a minute. What did I just say there? So anyways, that won't happen. So I'm going to grab a soldering iron. We're going to wire up. This one's brand new, so I haven't cut this one yet. So we're going to repurpose this, but we're going to wire this up real quick. Make sure it's going to work, that it's still working, because this has been around and knocked down and on a shelf and everything and on and off. And once we've realized this does work, then we'll run the wires in and we'll get the lighting going in here. And in the meantime, you guys give some thought about what could I use for a camera. I do have, I have a spare, not that everybody has a one-liner, I have a spare GoPro here, Hero 4 Black GoPro camera that I could use, but it's got to be inside the chamber. So I would need to figure out a way, number one, to mount it in. Number two, of course, the wires I can always feed out through that same hole as the air assist, although you don't want to get that too crowded. But and number three, is this going to be wide enough angle for me to have on the top here? Or am I better off to somehow do one of them Raspberry Pi cameras? So before you place the light source permanently, try different positions to check just where the shadows fall. Good point, Snapshot. Very good point. Yes. So once we get the light working, we'll just come in here and we can freely move this around. It might even be better off mounted to the cover here, so that when I close the cover, the light's here. It might be better off part way up the cover for all we know, right? So, but that's the beauty, is there's options, right? We have options to do it. So I need some wire, some two-strand wire. I need a soldering gun. Yeah, okay. Let me go get the soldering gun and some two-strand wire. Now this camera is going to want to follow me around, and we know what happens when this thing tries to follow me around and it loses my face. It gets sad, just like you guys when you don't see my face. You get sad, and then you start to go like this and you mope. And then I have to come and say, lift your chin up, guys. I'm here. I'm back. So I wish. Anyways, let me go grab the soldering iron. If I can remember where I put it in this mess. There we go. I've got so much stuff. I got too much stuff. I'm going to be honest. There's the soldering iron. There's the solder. There's my cleaning thing. Here we go. Coming back. We have our little brass, whatever. I call it our dish scrubber. We have some solder. And there's our soldering station. And I even have a plug up here on top of the good old Voron. I had to move the Voron and the K1 out of the way. We need to sort of rearrange here, because this is going to be a laser station, because the laser station needed to be close to the window for venting. And I need a power source right about here. I need to run a power source right about here. Got to go get some sleep. Get some sleep, Jose. I know tonight's not the most exciting stream to miss, so that's fine. Go get some sleep, and we'll see you, and thank you for being here. Dimming LEDs with PWM. Power Wave Management, Power Whip Manager, PWOW. I don't know. I'm not sure what a PWM is, I'll be honest. Pi Zero with a camera, 5 volt and done. Ooh, Pi Zero with the camera. I do have a Pi Zero, and I have a camera, a Pi camera. That might be a good idea. Pulse width modulation. Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know. Is that what that little switch is? Is that a pulse width modulation switch? It's an LED dimmer. It's actually sold to work with those LEDs. It's from the same company, Super Bright LEDs out of the US. Pulse width modulation. You guys all know these stuff. I don't know these things. But do you know what DNA stands for? Huh? Do you know what DNA means? Anyways. I happen to know, we were talking about that the other day. Useless bits of information we know for whatever unknown reason, and I happen to know what DNA stands for, and I don't know why, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and plug in the soldering iron. What's this one plugging in? That's just my laptop. I can unplug that, move that over, and put the soldering iron in right here. Okay, and we have a soldering iron now, and I need to wet my sponge, so we'll sacrifice some of my water to wet my sponge. Whoa, just don't overflow it. There we go. Look, I spilled water. What'll I clean it up with? Oh, look, I have a sponge. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Look at that. Yes, but you can't spell it. Can't even spell CPR, can you? Oh, come on, Andrew. Whoa, low blow, man. You guys fight it out. I'm not getting involved in that one. Okay, let's grab a shop rag here. Pick up this excess water I spilled. Deoxyribonucleic acid, and I don't blame you for not being able to spell deoxyribonucleic acid. I don't know why I know that, but I do. Okay, wire. I moved my wire too. Oh, deoxyribonucleic acid. Steve Machado put it in there, and he even typed it wrong, but still. Yes, that's what DNA stands for. What is deoxyribonucleic acid? Well, that's DNA. That's what makes up our DNA. Okay, and look at this. We have 2-strand wire. So I'm going to sit down for this portion. Call me lazy if you want, but that's my show. And let's see if I can get a camera angle on this so you guys can see, witness the burning desire. Okay, if I go to the bench cam, there we go. And you get a good view of Michael Myers too from the bench cam. Look at that. Oh, bench cam's crooked. There we go. There we go. Look at that. And we'll focus even. We'll even get focus sort of right in this area right here. Oh. I noticed one of the videos I was watching back, and I was a little bit out of focus in a couple spots. So, but thank goodness you're a forgiving crowd. Yes, you are. You're also forgiving. 19. It was up to 23. See, some people just don't like streams that are just where I'm just kind of irrelevant and, just doing stuff. So we're just going to cut off, I don't know how long I need, but I'd rather have too much wire than too little wire. So that should be, we'll just do one more strand here. That should be plenty of wire right there. There, hang on. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch something up here a little bit because I know you guys like looking at me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, I'm going to take this guy out of this view. No, I'm just going to move him down. And I'm going to add a video source. I'm going to add an existing one, and I'm going to scare you guys by adding this and go like this. Hello. And we're going to move this up into this corner. There we go. The magic of all this stuff is incredible. There, now you can watch the expression on my face as I burn my fingers, like, okay, and then you can also see the actual burning happening. Hey, Dum Dev, how are you? Almost forgot the thumbs up. Hey, thumbs up if you're on this stream. Thumbs up and thumbs up if you're watching and you are entertained at all. Educational? No, there's no educational aspect to this stream unless you enjoy watching somebody solder something. But there's definitely entertainment aspect to this stream. So definitely entertainment. And I'll even say that myself. I'm not much of a live entertainer, but I try to keep it nice and easy and light. And live audiences, I'm not big in front of live audiences, but now there's a interesting, I'm not going to call it ethical, but I'm going to call it an interesting philosophical question. Are you guys considered a live audience versus a live audience and people in front of me, yay, clapping and cheering? So, too many letters. Too many letters? No. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Yeah. course. Who didn't know that? Come on. Okay, so we're going to take the solder. I like to break off a little piece of solder. I don't like working with a whole roll. I like to actually wrap it around the fingers and, stuff like that. Forget the lead poison that's going to be getting into my skin. Checks pulse, I'm alive. I can't find my pulse. So, okay, let's let this thing heat up real quick here. Where's my strip? My strip is right here. We're going to have to prepare. I got to put some flux. Oh, I need some flux. Where's my flux? I like using flux. There's my flux pen. Flux just makes things flow a little nicer. And there's my shop rag that I can use as a flux catcher. So I'm just going to flux these two wires here real quick. There we go. And then I'm going to put a little bit of flux on the end of this so I can get this thing, get some, you know what I'm saying? What's tinned? I can tin these things before I put them together. Okay. Then I had to wipe the flux off. Did I just tell you guys to flux off? No. Okay, this is a family channel, so. Okay, so are we heat? We hot? Are we heat? Are we hot? We're hot. Yeah, we're hot. Okay. So let's get a little bit of tinning on there. Let's refresh that tinning. There we go. Okay, now we're just gonna, where's my helping hand thing here? Oh, where did I put that? Right here. Right beside me. I like to keep things nice and handy now. Okay, so we'll just grab this. Whoops. This is the OmniFixo helping hand thing. It works really, really well. So we're just going to pinch our wires in here. And doo-doo, boop. And we're just going to tin these wires. Where's my solder? There's my solder. We'll just tin the positive and negative wire. I am positive that this is the positive wire. And there we go. And I'm positive this is the negative wire. There we go. Okay. There we go. Let's see. Flux that flux, you flux. Oh, flux off, dum-dum. See what I did there? Content. I like flux. I like fluxing. Okay. We can put this down, and we do have a positive and a negative you got to be careful of. So we're going to connect the positive here. My hand's right in the way of that camera too, isn't it? Here, let's try this, where you can actually see my belly a little bit. There we go. Can you see a little bit better here? Yeah, positive, maybe. So we'll get the positive to the positive here. It's all about getting good camera angles, isn't it? And we don't need any, come on, heat up. Are you not going to melt? There we go. And negative to the negative. There we go. And Bob's your uncle. So there we go. There's our connection. That's all we need. We don't need to worry about shrink wrapping, heat shrink tubing it or anything, because we're not really going to be exposing that to any other metals. Okay, so that's that. Now we can, let's bare the other end here. I may end up shortening this wire. We'll see. But as I said, I'd rather have too much wire than too little wire. So these are going to go, bare you. And we'll bare these a little bit longer here. And then I got to go grab one more thing here. What's the flux? Are you cursing with me? Cursed. Oh, then down here. And I got to grab this little kit here. I'm going to grab my Perceiva kit. This isn't what you perceive it to be. See what I did there? Okay. Okay. Y'all know what I'm going to do now. Well, y'all should know what can't believe I'm saying y'all. I'm not even Texan, y'all. Okay. And we have, it's Ferrell Bueller's Day Off. See what I did there? Ferrell Bueller's Day Off. So we're going to ferrule. We can do red to red. Why not? And black to black. No, I'm not going to do black for the black, though, because the black ferrules are too big. See, they sort ferrules by color based on size, but what they need to do is have... we've had this conversation before, if I'm not mistaken. They need ferrules that are like a black and red ferrule of the same size for the same gauge wire. That way you can, you know... But we'll just do black. We'll just do red and gray. That'll be good enough. The gray will represent the black. Represent, dude. There we go. And then we'll ferrule that black one in here. And there we go. Those are ferruled as good as they can be. And I happen to know, okay, I'll just put this aside in case I screwed something up there. Not that I did, but you just never know. So we'll put that aside for a second. Have wire will ferrule. Ah! Now that is good. When Tim gets annoyed, he likes flux this and flux that. You guys. So now what we're going to take, we're going to grab this thing here. We're going to grab this little guy here. And I happen to know from experience, if I can find my little snippers, although I'll just use these ones, that I have to cut these ferrules short just a little bit by one of the little notches, like there and right there, because I've done this before. And then we need our little screwdriver. All these tools that I got to pull out. Well, let's turn the safety first. Let's turn the soldering station off, because I'll end up burning my arm if I don't. Let me take our little screwdriver, and we're going to loosen the terminals on this thing. Oh, they're all pretty much loose already. And we're going to stick the ferrules in. Now we want to make sure these are labeled positive and negative. Our ferrule cat's crimped. I don't know. I don't know. You're pushing your luck now. And then we push those in like so. Just like that. And we'll screw these down. This might be a good video to do, actually, and then edit this a little bit as far as showing, just how to put a light source in your enclosure for your laser. Why not? Okay, that's screwed down. We are into our LED strip. Okay, give me the button because I'll push that too. You have that same iFixit kit and love it. Isn't that a great kit? This little guy. Let's put this back. Is it actually called iFixit? I've never even noticed the name of it before. Doesn't have a name on it, but yeah, this is a great little kit. Got to get in the habit, though. I had an old one and I didn't. You got to get in the habit of putting everything back when you're done with it. Otherwise, you start losing pieces. And I do that every time now. Shut it up and put it back. Okay, so we have our power source now. I have plenty of wire. I'm not worried about that. Okay, so we have our power source. So basically, I could go this way. I could plug this in directly to the power source, which would keep the LED on full time. I don't want that. I want this to go, okay, male and male does not work. Okay, I didn't do that. So we plug this into this end. We have our dimmer switch in here, on-off dimmer switch. Plug this into this end. And let's go. Okay, come on. Okay, I've got way too much wire here, but that's okay. I can always shorten my wire. So that's who sell it. iFixit sells it. Okay, it's not necessarily the brand. You got a wow stick, and it was a waste of money. You know what? Since you brought that topic, well, first of all, let me plug this in, make sure we're going to work, and then I'll talk to you about the wow stick and stuff. So I can unplug the soldering iron. We'll plug this in. Okay, now, if I did this right, I should turn the switch and the lights come on. Look at that, it does. They do too. And I can dim them. Actually, they're bright. Oh, that's very bright. And then I can dim them. Like that. And off. So I do that, and then right, bright, 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 bright. and off. But I don't even know if I need to be able to dim them. Well, it's kind of shakily dimming, but it works. Okay, that's the main thing, is it works. Okay, so we have a power source for our lights for our enclosure now. Okay, and if I find I'm not dimming them on and all the time, I'll just replace this switch with a on-off switch. I have one somewhere here, I just don't know where, but I'll replace that if I find I'm not dimming. But then either way, I'll just have the switch mounted to the front of the bench or something. So God said, let there be LED light, and there was LED light, and it was good. I will not blind myself with a laser, but LED strip is a different story. James, oh man, isn't that the truth though? It's like I'll go, oh, but I don't think that I've heard, not yet, mind you, give it time with the LED technology. Pretty soon that's going to be dangerous too, but all that does right now is show a few flashes in the, anyways, that's funny. That is funny. Okay, let me put this back where it goes. Okay, let me throw my wire just over here so I don't lose it. There's a thumbnail. Yeah, there's a thumbnail. I need to save some of these screenshots for thumbnails. And let's put my soldering stuff right here. Let's unplug the station. Okay, so now what I'll do is I will sort through this mess, and I will unplug the light here. We'll come over here, see if this camera is going to do what it's going to do. I'm trying not to have my back to y'all, but maybe if I flip this guy up, let's see if this camera will show a. Oh, that looks great there. Yeah, that looks really good there. So now if I focus this, there we go. There we are. Okay, so I will see if I can poke this through. I may have to end up taking the wires off. I need, and I kind of figure that's sort of back of my mind, I think, why I didn't put this little screwdriver away. Should have thought of that. I need to push the wires through the hole here first. This will go, but I'll end up ripping it, or I'll end up stretching the hole, and I don't want stop it, Tim. I don't want to stretch that hole open too wide, because it'll let smoke through possibly. So we'll just undo these. We'll reach through, and we will. Oh, come on! It's not that difficult. There's one of them, and come on, there's the second one. Oh, of course, I got one on each side of the stinking. There we go. There we go. So we got that wire through, and it's plenty long enough that allows us to. So we got plenty of wire here, so it's going to allow us to choose where to put that light in the chamber. So let's go ahead and hook the positive and negative back up here again. Come on. There we go. There we go. And I'll fix these in here again. At least I don't need to back up one step. Yeah, the WOW stick is the buttons for me. Oh, right, the WOW stick. I got to remember to talk about that. I had a, it wasn't a WOW stick, but it was one similar to a WOW stick. And you guys have heard this story before anyways, but I ended up getting this little guy here called the Duratec. Now, it's bigger than the WOW stick and those other ones, but it does come with all the small tips. It comes with regular size tips, but also you can put the small tips on it. But the torque on this, the only thing I didn't like about the little ones was the torque and the length of the battery power and everything. This is a lithium-ion, 3.6 volt lithium-ion. There it is right there. And this thing it's got a light on the front of it when you turn it on, but it has incredible torque. And you don't worry about stripping your screw when you're doing that, because basically when you're tightening it, you just sort of hold it loose, and then the torque is really you feel it with your hand when it's tight enough, and you get used to using it. So that I'll never buy another one of those little ones with this thing here. So you go opposite the air vent, so the smoke is drawn away from the camera. Good point, Snapshot. So what you're saying is the air vent is over here, so you would mount the camera, say, over in this corner, up in this corner. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea, actually. So that's why I like you guys, and that's why I like these live streams, because it gives me I mean, that's an obvious thing to say. You want the smoke to be drawn away from the camera, and absolutely, and so put it on the opposite corner of the air vent. Okay, so we have a plug. We have a power barn back here with lots of available. You can see in the back here we have a power strip that's VHB to the bench. So we have lots of power plugs. So I'm going to probably plug this guy in. Oh, can I move? Do I have a bit of room to move this over a bit more? A little bit of room there. So probably plug this guy in right here. There we go. He's good there. We'll run him around. Now, actually, I want this switch to be handy, but that's okay. If I run him around back here and underneath the vent, there we go. And in beside the air pump. Okay, you guys can't really see what's going on here, unless I switch to this view, maybe. I just run this down the side here, and underneath all the air pump wires and everything like that, sort of like that. Then I can just sort of tape or glue or whatever this light switch to this part right here. That's perfect. Okay. So then we'll connect. Yeah, I got way too much wire here. And we'll connect this up, and now we have. Oh man, don't you love it when you're live streaming and you have a barking dog? That's okay. There we go. Now, if I turn it on, the said light source should come on. There we are. So now, boom, if we have that light up top, look at the lighting in that cabinet now. Look at that. That's great. So as far as where it should go, I guess is the next question. So if we were to leave it right there, it might not be bad right there. That's where I've seen other people put it. And you come up here, you're going to get shadow no matter where you put it. Laser, that's sort of the limit for the laser right there. If we come back, you get some shadows. Of course, you're going to get shadows no matter what. I don't know if it would be any better here with the lid closed. No matter where you put it, you're going to get this shadow from the X beam. So I think anything is good to where it is. So it's not bad. So if I open that up again, oh, that's super bright. Hence the company super bright LEDs. I think if I put it right under there, we're fine. A lot of the stuff that's going to be lasered, I don't come really close to the front anyways. Especially when you're ventilating stuff, you want a lot of the work to be done down in around close to the vent. So if I'm doing one coaster, I'm doing one little piece of wood, I'll do it over here somewhere so that the smoke is going to head towards the vent as opposed to doing it up here where the smoke has got to travel all the way. But yeah, there's not going to be any way really to get rid of that shadow unless I were to put two lights in. Now, there's another thought, okay? So we have the one light there, whoops, which is going to do really well. You could also put a strip in this part right under here. Now, that's another possibility because I do have a second strip where I could just run another strip up there. That would potentially eliminate some of the shadow. Due to Happy Manufacturing, I guess great minds think alike because I just looked at the chat and Happy Manufacturing says do two, one there and one at the gantry. One on the gantry. When I was younger, I thought I liked playing what I thought was a drum. Turns out it was a conundrum. Oh, you guys left me puzzled. You need to write a book, Andrew. You really do. Put it on the gantry is what Happy is saying. Have I missed? Did I say hi to Tessa yet? Maybe I didn't. I'm falling behind on chat here a little bit. Oh, hello, my lovely wife is here. Oh, okay. You don't want to come and say hi on camera? Aw. I'll go opposite the air vent. Okay, that's true. So I'm catching up on chat here. Here we go. Let's see. She's standing right there, but she's gonna text me instead of telling me. So she's gonna text me something. Okay, let's see what she texts me. Shh, don't anybody say anything. It's a secret. Should I turn the camera around so you can see her?
Read it. I can't say anything.
Okay.
This is going on right now.
You're serious?
If you look on the camera, you see police cars everywhere.
Wow. Well, I can say something. Nobody.
I can't say anything because I don't know if that's what's happening. That's what I heard.
Oh, okay.
I don't say that part, but I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
It's kind of creepy.
Oh, okay. No, that's okay. That's good to know. Oh my. No. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay. There we go. Sorry. Put it at the bottom front of the enclosure. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe doing two of them. Hi, Mrs. DeWitt. Okay. Well, she's gone now. Apparently, we have a really huge police presence outside our house right now on our street, and we don't know why. But that's okay. There we go. So, I don't know if I want to put anything on the actual gantry itself. I like underneath. No, that would interfere. But I may. So maybe one here, and then maybe another one up top here, so that when I close it, so if I pull this wire a little longer, and then if I close it like this, that would get rid of the shadow under the gantry. Let's just see something here. Hang on. So right now, if I pull the gantry forward, that totally gets rid of the shadow for the most part under the gantry. They like the stream and want to laser them in new badges. There we go. That might even be the better place to put it, period. Is right up here to begin with. But then definitely one back here, and then you're going to eliminate both shadows. There is a great idea. Okay. Let me shut this off because... Whew, and I can wire them both to the same switch. Actually, I can wire them in series, if I'm not mistaken. And I happen to have... I happen to have more lights. More lights. So maybe that's what I'll do. That's not a bad idea at all. So we put two lights in. We put one underneath, and we put one up top here. And that one's just easy enough to string the wire through and pull it. It's not going to interfere with anything except when I close that. Oh no, it'll be fine. It should be fine. It's not going to interfere with anything. And I don't think the smoke or anything will hurt that. So this stream might just be about wiring up lights for this thing, and that's it. Get blue tape for testing. Yes, I got lots of that. Yeah, but when you open the door, the light will blind you. Mostly the door will be open when you're looking to do work. So two switches maybe. Two light sources, two different switches. That may not be that may be the way to do it, is two switches. Let's pull this one apart because I don't need this ultraviolet on the back of these anymore. These ultraviolet strips are still good, but I don't know. I could do a black light in my room here and make it all funky, make Michael Myers make this glow. We'll have a glow stream one night. Get a tilt switch. A tilt switch. Oh man, look at all these ideas. So, not that I've ever heard of it, but obviously what you're saying is a switch so that as soon as I open the lid, the light goes off. That's not a bad idea. But I think for now, two separate sources. So now if I take this and I say we want it the same length, we need to cut it right here. Because that's a bit too long. Oh, no, that's not too long to go right across. Let's see. Would that fit? Oh, that would just fit in there. Maybe I don't have to cut this at all. That would just fit if I stuck it up here. Like so. Boom. Yeah, that will fit. I don't need to cut this strip at all. All I need to do is wire up the end. One of those magnetic switches like for doors. Forget the name for them. I think the one light is plenty because you want to see the red dot. Yeah. Well, considering I'm going to be filming and I want to put a camera in here, Dum Dum, you have a good point there. So let's see. So when you turn this laser on, let's bring this other camera over. This will give a better view of what I'm going to explain here. Floor camera. There we go. When this laser gets turned on, we get our indicator, our red indicator mark here. Okay. If I turn this light on and then I close the lid, okay, I can still see that red laser mark, no problem. You guys lose it on camera, but I can see that red alignment mark very easily. So that's not going to be too bright for it, but I don't know if I need a second one. I think if I just mount this light at the front, because if I have a camera and the camera's pointing at what the laser's doing, there's lots of light seeing right in there where the laser is. And so the camera should be good. And if I put two lights in, it might be too bright for the camera. But a magnetic switch is a good one too. Yeah. Okay. Let's see, that's why I love these ideas. You guys throwing these ideas at me. I think I'm going to stick with one light for now, right here. Just like so. And I can basically somehow I will secure this just with some tape. I can actually tape this on the lid so that it just doesn't buckle in and everything like that. But I think we'll just go with the one light across here for now, and we'll see how we do with that. Seems that I've got some soot buildup on this. Oh, there we go. Got to keep my viewing window clean here. Yeah. So yeah, maybe one light's the way to go for now. Just to keep it. Keep the dimmer to adjust exposure. Exact. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so let's find some double-sided adhesive here, which we happen to have a fair bit of left over from Voron builds. And I believe this stuff is going to be a perfect width for this. It's a little wider, but it's okay. And I don't need a lot. I'm not going to use full lengths. So let's go ahead and cut a couple pieces of this. This camera stopped following me, didn't you? What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? There you go. 2 strips, one on the right, one on the left. Okay, we're not going to go there. that would work, but I don't think it would address the shadow issue. We're going to try this for now. I love all the ideas, though. I really do. Don't ever stop feeding me ideas, guys. So I'm going to try one there. We'll try one piece down here. And I'm not worried about heat buildup in the chamber because, of course, it's just smoke buildup. I don't know if the smoke, no, with the smoke being sucked out like it is, we shouldn't have much smoke buildup on these either. So, and then one little piece in the middle. You're going to say, why didn't you just do one long strip? I don't know. Because save tape. So Voron kit on Ali for $369. Wow, which kit? Whoa. Okay, don't reach into your pockets with that thing in there because you'll end up knocking that thing off of your belt. Okay. You have too many already. I don't need any more printers. I think I am done with 3D printer getting for now. So let's just go ahead and pop this off of here. 1, 2, 'Come on. 3. Oh, there's a sharp one. Can't talk when you have liner in your mouth. 2.4. Oh, what a heck of a price. On the sides, the shadows will be gone. Well, maybe we'll add something. We'll see. Let's just see what we get here. Okay, so I'm going to put this. I'm going to try and center it sort of approximately. We'll come in a little bit and right about there. There we go. Okay, for now, we're going to do this. Okay, so we have that done. So there's what we got. So for now, we just did right along the top here. Here, let's get this camera out of the way. Okay, right along the top here. I'm going to go grab just some tape to sort of maybe secure it down. Follow me, camera, if you choose. Ignore the mess in here. Now my tapes. Let's see, where are my tapes? In here? There we are. I wonder the purple tape might work for now. Oh, no. Purple tape schmate. We try and blend in. We use electrical tape. Black electrical tape. Let's see if that'll hold that wire down. Okay. You keep going out of focus, you. You keep going out of focus on me. There we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and see. Green tape on your shelving unit. Nah, green would stand. I want to match. I want to try and keep this matching. So let's go ahead and take some little piece of electrical tape here. Okay. We'll just sort of go like, I don't know if this will hold, but it might. Oh yeah, I think that'll hold. I think that'll hold just fine. Okay. Then we'll come down. Just like that. That's all we need, really, is just like that. That should be perfect. I guess I could just maybe put one more piece there. I can't see chat right now, so if you guys are telling me something, just give me a second. And we'll kind of turn that like this. And I'll look into the switches, the magnetic switches and stuff for opening the door. Because that's not a bad idea, actually. There we go. That doesn't look so bad. I mean, hey. Really, if I were designing an enclosure, I'd build this into it. And look at that. There we go. So we have that closed. And then we turn the light on. And there we go. Yeah, you get lost all the time. There we go. Okay. And open it up, and we have our light. Actually, when you open it up, so if you open it up like this, you can see inside. If you open it like this, yeah, the lights are going to blind you, but we'll go ahead and open it like this. The flap covers the lights. Look at that. So there's even other bonus, right? So that works out okay. So this method worked out pretty good. There we go. And you can see in the top pretty good. So if I bring this camera over now, I can actually see in the top very good now. And floor camera, it's hard to, through the yellow thing, it's hard to see, but I can see in there. And you can see my red focusing or my red alignment laser in there. But yeah, you can see in there really, really good now. Okay. That compared to with no light. There it is with no light. Look at all the reflections you get, and it's really hard to see anything. Then you turn the light on, and look at that. Look at that. So even if I have a camera outside of it showing in, but I still want to put a camera inside. What follow cam is this? This camera is the Insta360 Link camera. Yeah. Yeah, so this works out good. So I'm happy with what we've done with the light there so far. So let me move this camera out of the way. There we go. So that was a success. So the next thing I'd like to do or try and figure out is, well, let's just turn this light off. So actually you can open it up and there we go. The light gets kind of covered by that. These lights get a little bit warm, but I'm not worried about it. This is a fireproof enclosure, so I don't think those lights would ever get hot enough to actually cause burning on this enclosure. It's fireproof. So but I can turn it off for now anyways. So the other thing to think about, and again, this is sort of it's meant to be a portable enclosure, so maybe I don't need an inside camera. Maybe that's going to be good enough for filming any engraving, but would still wouldn't be bad to have a little camera in the corner, maybe one of those little Pi cameras in the corner that's able to, you know, so I could maybe broadcast live laser or something like that. So that's maybe one of the things that we think of next. So that's good. So we got that done. That's awesome. That is awesome. And we still have 17 people chilling out with me. Thank you, guys. So we don't need this LED strip at the point. So we do have 2 more full-length LED strips. These are, these guys happen to be, you know, when you want to tape measure, it's never right in front of you. Yes, it is. It is. So these are 22-inch long LED strips. So we'll keep these for future for use. These things are handy, and they're 12 volt, which is nice. I want to use one of these in my P1P, P1S eventually as well. And then of course I have these ultraviolet, UV, whatever you want to call them. I call them black light strips that I can use for something. I don't know what I would ever use these for, but these are pretty cool. And I had a second one here somewhere, but it got tossed. Oh, right here. It's just under here. So, yeah. So we did some. We also did some testing on some little. This is too thin. This is too cheap. But this is aluminum sheet. So we did some laser testing on the aluminum sheet. Turns out pretty nice. And my goal is eventually going to be to make some business cards on this stuff. This is all scratched up because this was my test piece. So, hey NH3D, how are you, sir? So, what else was I going to mention here? And so we do have the honeycomb bed, as I said. This happens to be the Comgrow honeycomb bed. Yeah, you're kind of insulted when you lose my face, aren't you? There we go. That's my face right here. There we go. Yeah, I love this little camera when it behaves. So this happens to be a honeycomb bed from Comgrow. And it has the sheet on the bottom to protect the spoil board or the waste board, okay? And so this just kind of lifts out so you can clean up your debris and everything afterwards. And the other nice thing about this board is it's, which some honeycomb boards apparently aren't, is, and I believe I got this one off a recommendation from Jerry, but the beauty of these is they're magnetic. So if you have something that's a little bent, where are they? Right here. So you can take a magnet, for instance, on these, on this little piece that I did a test cutout on. I've been moving stuff all over the place here. There we go. So this thin material sometimes has a tendency to warp. So you can actually put this down on your honeycomb, and actually with these magnets, you can just pop these magnets in place, and it holds your board flat, prevents warping. You just got to make sure that you're only framing and lasering in the area, because your laser cover will bump these if you don't place them strategically. But that's no problem. I use these for when I did this cutout. When I did the cutting test on this, I had to use these to place this so that the sheet would lay flat, and it worked out quite well. And if your sheet doesn't lay really, really flat and you're having an issue with it, then you can always, but you got to be very careful, you can always use a bigger magnet. Okay, these things are, these things are, okay, I got to put this down because I cannot separate this with one hand. Like, there's a magnet that is going so strong, it's holding through my hand. There we go. I don't know if magnetic fields are bad on the skin, but anyways, these are my little standard magnets. These are my bigger magnets, and this is an even bigger magnet that just pulls. But in a pinch, if you needed something really strong, you can just, that ain't going nowhere. Okay, but again, you want to make sure you don't run your laser head into that magnet. that you're just framing in the only spot you're framing. But the option's there to have bigger, heavier magnets to hold a heavier piece down if you're having issues. As I say, a lot of this thin stuff, I find, unless you get it from a reputable source, you get a lot of warpage in that stuff. So anyways, let me get these magnets off of here. These things are crazy strong. But if you don't know by now, I love magnets. I don't know what it is. I have a fascination with magnets. I have a few magnets down here. So yeah. Anyways, so that we do have this for cutting, for doing our cutting tests and so forth. So yeah, that's the other part of the arsenal here. They do give you a little, Xtool does give you a little plate for putting on the bottom for when you're, I wouldn't use this for cutting because you're not going to have any airflow through it. But I guess it's just for the bottom when you're engraving so that you just protect your spoil board or something. So I have these, we're going to be doing some testing. I have these little keychains I'm going to be lasering on, little wooden keychains. I have a few different items that we're going to be running some different tests on, and yeah, that's kind of it. So, perfect size for your big printer. Yes, it is. I just got my Xtool last week for the company. Nice NH3D. Did you get the 20 or 40 watt? I'm used to the. I enjoy tearing apart old HD just for the magnets. Hard. Oh yeah. I tore apart an old iMac once, and the magnets that hold the display, the cover of the display on an iMac, are incredibly strong. If you ever get a chance to tear apart an old iMac, or you find one in the junk, just for the magnets, it's well worth grabbing. So, but yeah, I'm used to coming from the old 5 or 5.5 watt lasers, and this thing is incredibly powerful compared to those. I could burn something, and I'm learning too that the quality of your wood makes a huge difference in the quality of your burn. So, but I don't really know. It's a little bit late for tonight to start burning. I just wanted to get that light in there, and now I want to sort of think about a camera. So we're gonna maybe do that next. So what else do you guys want to see? We kind of accomplished everything that we were trying to accomplish tonight quicker than I thought because there was no injuries. I didn't burn myself soldering. Speaking of that, let me go put the soldering equipment back because I don't really need it again right now. And you guys think about what you're doing. Think about what you're saying, okay? Think about what you've just said. I'm just silly tonight. What can I say? And put this back. There we go. I say it every time, but I got to clean this place up. Oh, and the other thing I do have is I have a spare spoil board, perfectly clean spare spoil board in case I want to laser another pattern or image on it for doing something. But I got to make myself some templates. I need to make templates for keychains. I need to make templates for a few different things for lasering. So, yeah. Their 10 watt and the 20 watt perform quite comparably, and you got the 20 watt. Cool. Yeah, you'll like it. So you basically got this one. It's the enclosed 20 watt. And get the air assist for sure if you're going to be doing some cutting. Definitely get the air assist. So, and the little, I didn't use the little fan that comes in their enclosure. I put on one of these guys over here. It's a 320 CFM, or is it 230? 230 CFM air mover, whatever you want to call them. And that's venting out to the window up over here. And what I did was I made up just some inserts for those windows. The area I want to mount the cam to the area I want to cover, you'll probably need a short focus length. Oh, I see. Okay, that's what I need to figure out. Well, it's going to be, the distance is going to be, say if I put it in the corner here, you're speaking at the most, what's that? That's about 2 feet. 2 feet maybe at the most. and then sometimes it'll come up close. You definitely need a wide angle lens for it. No doubt about that. So, but I'm not sure. That little Pi camera I have apparently is almost fisheye. But then again, this little GoPro that I have, this spare GoPro that's not being used right now, it's a pretty wide angle lens too, but it's just bulky. Well, I wouldn't say it's bulky, but if there's a way to hold it in there, but then there's wires that have got to run from here. I suppose the wires could run down and out underneath the enclosure here. But you've got to run a power wire and then a network wire, versus if I use it on a Pi, can I not, if I run it on a Pi 02W, can I not then just have power the Pi with a 5-volt supply? Ooh, that rhymed. Did you guys catch that? Power the Pi with a 5-volt supply. Oh, it's peaking when I talk louder? Okay. That's just a matter. Oh, you know why? I didn't adjust my volumes when I came on. That should be a whole lot better right now. Thank you for pointing that out. Nobody else did. That should be right about there. That should be better now. Should be better now. So if I hook up a Pi 02W, I can connect that through Wi-Fi, can I not, to see the image, versus having to wire it in to something. So yeah, it's not a huge requirement at the moment. Now that I've got the light and I can actually shoot half decent through the cover with my little cameras I have here, that'll do for now. I'm good for audio now. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah. I have my adjustments that I usually have to do every time, because it doesn't save unless there's a way I can save them. But in my ATEM manager, I have to adjust my volumes, my mic and my master volume, and there they are. But there's no way to actually save that as a default setting that I know of. But anyways, I'm glad you pointed it out. Yay. You're obviously into good sound. Aha. And a good image. So there we are. Yeah, so that's what's happening. I'm going to be moving forward. I want to focus DeWitt 3D. I want to focus my streams and videos. I've got to start doing videos. I really do. But I want to start focusing more on, a Wyze camera. I have Wyze cameras through my house. That's what my home security is Wyze cameras. They are awesome. My office cameras are Wyze cameras. They're awesome. That's a good thought. That's a very good thought. But anyways, the channel is going to focus more on, I know the building is fun sometimes. I still have one printer to build. I still got to rebuild my Trident. I want to focus more on the making. I want to focus more on, here's a really good printer. What can you do with it? Here's a couple really good printers. What can you do with them? I want to start making more, because if you guys have noticed on my channel, how often do you guys actually see me 3D print anything and actually make anything? Yeah, here's a good laser, but what am I going to make on it? So I want to focus more on the making, because what's happening today, if you notice the trend that's happening, bed slingers will still be around for a while, no problem. Voron's going to be around for a while, because there's that certain aspect and certain niche market that uses it. But a lot of printers now, like you have your Bamboo Labs, you have your Creality K1s. Other companies are getting into it now. FlashForge is getting into it. Kingroon's getting into it. Basically, almost plug-and-play printers, where a person's going to buy this printer. You come in, you plug it in, throw some filament in the AMS or on the back spool holder if you have it, and just print. So I think there's going to be less interest, other than that niche market, for the building of the printers. There's going to be less interest in the niche, other than the niche market, for the modification of the printers. And there's going to be more people. It's like getting a microwave into your house. Here's my microwave. What can I do with it? Right? I don't care how it's built. I don't care what kind of fancy buttons it's got. What can I do with it? And so people that are getting these 3D printers that are plug and play now, it's like, okay, well, I've got this. What can I do with it? And because a lot of them don't explore deep enough into the world of exactly what you can do with them. So that's kind of where I want to head. So being a large man, you should do a Manado suit for a plus size guy, a suit. Okay, so what are you guys saying now? What's that link you put there? I want to see what that link. I'm curious what that link is. I have to go to this chat here and click on that link and see what you're linking me to. Yes, okay, I have that upstairs. That's in my front window. That's cheap, $50. And that would fit in here reasonably, and it's very wide angle. I like the angle of that. Thank you for mentioning that. I never would have thought to put a Wise in there, but that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. They're using the Mafia. They're called Wise Guy cams. Andrew Humphrey, he beat you to it. That's funny. Oh, Mando armor, because you're a big dude. Okay, Mando armor. Well, again, that's kind of the direction I want to take things. So hopefully that's okay with you guys. I know you guys enjoy my builds. The rat rig was the last build I finished, which did I really finish it? I haven't got the spool holder up yet. I got to get that going because I got projects to go on it. I got paying customers that want jobs done on this, but I've also got to tune it up yet a little bit. So, and I've got the Trident to finish building, and I've got two zeros over here, Voron 0.1s that I've got 0.2 upgrade kits to do. So I've just got so much to do as far as the building goes. But I think for those, I'm just going to sit down, not on camera, and just do them. And then once they're done, it's like, okay, here's these printers. What am I doing with them? What can we do with them? What practical use can you do with them? What can you do with this laser that's practical? You know, can you make money doing this stuff? Can you do home repairs, et cetera, et cetera? So I think you guys know where I'm going. So would love to see project series on my channel. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what I want to do is taking it. Am I going to Earth this year? No, I'm not, unfortunately, Happy. Sorry. I do want to get out to one of those events. I really do. It's just a matter of affording it. Probably be Murph that would be the one I would go to, or even Remurf, one of those. So I do want to get out to one eventually. If a company were to sponsor me and send me out, I would love to go, but it's just out of the budget right now. So everybody's building a Voron and you never see them print. You do you. I agree. I've made mine print, but I haven't done enough on it. I have this beautiful printer sitting here, and it does a great job, but I have not printed enough on it, and I need to do that. I have a possible contract coming up that's going to require a lot of printing, and so I may end up putting 3, 4, 5 printers to work on it. So we'll see. That's kind of a thing down the pipeline. It's in the negotiating stage right now, so we'll see what happens. Sorry, was looking at a CAD model. Well, you missed it, Andrew. You missed it. Too bad. So anyways, guys, I'm going to call it a night tonight early. We got the lighting set up on this, which is what I really wanted to do. I was going to burn something, but I don't need to burn something. Oh, I was going to show you one more thing. I was going to show you what I did. I couldn't decide which color or how I wanted that window insert to look that I did up over here. So I had ended up making, so we have a red one in there. So I think I showed you guys that. So for those that didn't see it earlier, the window insert for venting that laser looks kind of like that right there. And that is a piece of aluminum composite panel. So when I just slide that window open, pull that out, shut the window and lock it, and it's good to go. And it does a really good job in combination with that fan there of blowing all the smoke and everything out from the laser. And I couldn't decide. So this is all scrap offcuts. I'm fortunate to be in the business I'm in because I get a lot of offcuts. So I did white. I couldn't decide if I wanted white. And these are all 3D printed parts. I modeled these up and 3D printed them cheaply with a GratKit filament that they gave to me. So I couldn't decide on white. Then I thought, let's try it in a PVC material, and that's black with an angled vent. So you can put your thing on angled so you can approach it at an angle. Okay. And then we did one with red PVC. Similar idea, but coming in from behind so that all that was sticking out the front was this. I ended up going with a narrow red one because I just thought that looked a lot better. Hi, camera. My eyes are here. There we go. There we go. There we go. Just retired the t-shirt you have on, and the cops are outside. Oh, just realized the t-shirt I have on in the Oh, I never thought of that. I should run up when I'm done here and go outside and say, hey, anything I can do to help? Too funny. Well, guys, listen, thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with me tonight, even though it was kind of scattered all over the place. But we did manage actually some nice content for putting the light in the enclosure for the Xtool D1 Pro. So that worked out well. So thanks, everybody. We'll continue on, and we're going to do, as I say, more building series, more printing, what we can do, what we can make, and less of this stuff. This stuff is pretty cool, but you know what? It's not necessarily interesting for a lot of people, and it's not getting me a lot of views. And I have a feeling that using the equipment and what it can be used for and what you can make with it will get more views and get more interest. And I think that'll just sort of be more of what people want to see. So yeah, I appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much for always being here and always hanging out. And we will catch you guys on the next one. And everybody have a fantastic week and have a great night. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye for now. Don't forget soup next week. Bye.